Much. Turning to today's other big story, NPR CEO Vivian Schiller has resigned. This, of course, comes only one day after the release of an undercover video showing NPR fundraiser Ron Schiller, no relation to Vivian, bashing conservatives and members of the Tea Party movement, calling them racist, and questioning whether or not NPR even needs federal funding. Ron Schiller has also resigned from NPR. He thought he was at a meeting with members of a Muslim organization when, in fact, they were conservative activists working with James O'Keefe, the undercover operative, on a sting operation. Take a look at what he said.
It feels to me as though there's a real anti-intellectual move on the part of a significant part of the Republican Party. It's not all Republicans. The current Republican Party, particularly the Tea Party, is fanatically involved in people's personal lives and very fundamental Christian. Basically, they believe in sort of white, middle America, gun-toting. I mean, it's pretty scary.
Fanatical Christians who are a bit scary. How does the Tea Party feel about these comments? Let's bring in Beth Martin, co-founder and national coordinator of Tea Party Patriots. Jenny, welcome to the Glenn Beck program. Were you surprised at all to hear this character from NPR characterize people who believe in maximum individual liberty, small government, and fidelity to the Constitution as racists who want to tell people how to live their lives, who are fundamentalists and who are scary?
I want to be surprised by it, but the fact of the matter is it's indicative of the ruling elite, both in Washington, D.C. and in state capitals around this country. They think they know better than everyone else. Further into the tape, Schiller talks about how there aren't enough elite people. They look down on the ordinary working Americans across this country, and it's just disgraceful. You
know what's particularly disgraceful to me and to a lot of the folks, I think, watching us now, Jenny, is that these people are funded by taxpayer dollars. These elites who want elites to run the government and elites to tell others how to live are paid for by American taxpayers. Question, Jenny, does the federal government of the United States have any business funding any aspect of the media, whether it's NPR or anybody else?
I don't think they do. I think we've certainly outgrown the need for that. There are plenty of options for news on internet, cable channels, all sorts of other options. And the fact of the matter is the NPR executive said they don't even need the taxpayer funding. And we're talking about how we're in a mess financially in this country. So I see it's time to cut the funding.
And why is the White House, in your view, so insistent, so demanding, so forceful that the NPR funding stay in there? I mean, this is a relatively small amount of money in the president's enormous, out-of-control, bloated $3.7 trillion budget. It's the principle for those of us who believe in the Constitution. What's the principle on the other side? What does the president want out of this? What do the Democrats like about it?
I don't know what they want out of it, except that the more of our taxpayer money they have to spend, the more power they feel like they have. But really, the Constitution, it gives us, the people, the power, and we're not going to put up with this any longer.
All right. Just a few moments ago, we had two members of Congress on, of whom I am very fond, and I think most of the folks watching us now are fond, both Tea Party Republicans, Alan West from Florida and Connie Mack from Florida, both saying they are not going to vote to raise the debt limit. They're not crazy about extending government authority to spend money for another 2 weeks. Question: will the Republican leadership in the House recognize that it would be the leadership of the minority, not the majority, had it not been for the Tea Party?
I think they do realize that, and maybe not all of them, but most of them do. They understand we're watching them, we're going to hold them accountable, and it's time to cut the government's credit card. It's time to stop doing this. If I gave a credit card to my kids and they were spending out of control, I'd say cut it. Unfortunately, what's happening in D.C. is the government is using our children's credit card, and it's time to cut it up.
Will the Tea Party-supported Republicans stay true to their principles no matter what kind of a deal the leadership in the House cuts?
If they don't stay true to their principles, we'll be there watching, and if they don't stay true, we're going to primary them.
All right. Meaning you're going to run people against them in their primaries next year.
Regardless of party, we want people to be fiscally responsible, want to stand for constitutionally limited government and free markets.
Got it. Beth Martin, it's a pleasure. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.